माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, कलका माता की जय, कलका माता की जय, कलका माता की जय.
India's 15-year defense overhaul. India's Defense Ministry announced a 15-year modernization plan extending to 2040. The roadmap focuses on artificial intelligence, hypersonic weapons, space warfare, and advanced missile defense systems. It aims to boost the Army, Navy, and Air Force capabilities while reducing dependency on imports. The plan also includes increasing domestic production and integrating AI-enabled decision-making tools, autonomous vehicles, and cyber defense systems. With growing challenges from China and Pakistan, India's strategic push is to develop technology-driven warfare solutions. The initiative will see investments in research, training infrastructure, and partnerships with global defense manufacturers to accelerate self-reliance in cutting-edge military technologies. Sudarshan Chakra, a shield for critical sites. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that India will develop a new defense system called the Sudarshan Chakra by 2035. The system will protect vital infrastructure like hospitals, railway stations, airports, and religious sites from terrorist attacks or air threats. It is expected to integrate missile defense, electronic warfare, and advanced radar systems for quick detection and interception. The announcement came amid concerns about cross-border terrorism and drone-based attacks. Defense experts believe this system will provide an extra layer of protection for civilians while enhancing India's deterrence capabilities. It aligns with India's goal of strengthening domestic defense technologies under the Make in India initiative. General Chauhan highlights China border issue. India's Chief of Defense Staff, General Anil Chauhan, recently highlighted that the border dispute with China remains the biggest security challenge for the country. He pointed out that while China's military expansion is a cause for concern, Pakistan's use of proxy terrorism also threatens national security. General Chauhan emphasized improving surveillance and intelligence sharing along the border areas. The government is focusing on deploying better infrastructure, unmanned systems, and real-time communication networks. Defense analysts say that China's growing presence in the region requires sustained diplomatic and military readiness. Meanwhile, the armed forces are being equipped to respond swiftly to incursions while maintaining deterrence without escalating conflicts. India's defense production hits record high. India's defense production reached a new milestone in the 2024-25 financial year, clocking 1.5 lakh rupees crore. This is an 18% increase over the previous year and nearly double the output from 2019-20. The rise is attributed to the government's emphasis on Atmanirbhar Bharat and greater participation of private industry in defense manufacturing. Production of missiles, aircraft components, and armored vehicles has expanded significantly. Defense exports have also surged, with India supplying equipment to friendly nations. Experts say this growth will further reduce reliance on foreign suppliers and promote innovation. It is seen as a positive step toward building a robust indigenous defense ecosystem. Defense Ministry under pressure after Operation Sindoor. Following the success of Operation Sindoor, the Defense Ministry is facing pressure to expedite arms and equipment procurement. Operation Sindoor involved targeted strikes on 9 terror-linked sites in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, requiring rapid mobilization and modern technology. However, procurement delays and bureaucratic hurdles have slowed military readiness. Defense insiders say the armed forces need quicker access to advanced missiles, drones, and communication systems. The ministry has been asked to streamline procurement processes, enhance testing protocols, and increase investment in research. With ongoing threats along the borders, analysts believe India's long-term security depends on timely acquisition and modernization of defense systems. India, US conduct Yudh Abhyas military exercise. India and the United States are conducting the joint military exercise, Yudh Abhyas, in Alaska amid rising global tensions. Despite ongoing trade disagreements, both nations continue to deepen defense ties through such collaborative drills. The exercise focuses on counterterrorism, mountain warfare, and advanced combat training. Troops from both sides are working on interoperability, logistical coordination, and sharing battlefield technologies. Defense experts believe that these exercises will strengthen military trust and prepare the forces for combined operations in diverse terrains. The partnership is seen as vital, especially in the Indo-Pacific region where China's influence is growing, and securing strategic alliances is critical for regional stability. India seeks additional S-400 missile systems from Russia. India is in talks with Russia to procure additional units of the S-400 surface-to-air missile defense system. Already operational in some regions, the system is vital for countering aerial threats from enemy jets and drones. The new units are expected to enhance India's air defense, especially along the northern borders with China. The S-400 system's long-range interception capabilities make it a critical deterrent. Defense analysts believe the expansion reflects India's urgent need for advanced systems amid heightened tensions with neighboring powers. The deal is likely to deepen Indo-Russian military cooperation and reinforce India's long-standing reliance on Russian technology for air and missile defense. U.S. renames Defense Department as Department of War. U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order renaming the Department of Defense as the Department of War. The move bypasses congressional approval and signals a shift toward a more aggressive military posture. Analysts believe this symbolic step reflects the administration's focus on expanding military operations and strengthening national security. The decision has triggered debates globally, with allies and adversaries questioning its implications. Experts warn that the name change, while largely administrative, could set the tone for increased military spending and strategic assertiveness. India's defense community is watching the development closely, as shifts in U.S. policy could impact arms trade and geopolitical alliances. Trump and Xi Jinping may meet in South Korea. U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping are expected to meet in South Korea during the upcoming APEC summit. The potential summit aims to ease trade disputes and address rising geopolitical tensions in the Indo-Pacific region. Both leaders are under pressure domestically to resolve issues such as tariffs, military posturing, and cybersecurity threats. Defense analysts believe the meeting could lead to dialogue on military disengagement and cooperation in global security. India, as a major regional player, is observing the talks closely, as any US-China understanding may reshape strategic alignments and influence regional defense policies and supply chains. Operation Sindoor, cross-border strikes. Operation Sindoor was launched by India in May 2025, targeting terror camps in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. The operation focused on neutralizing sites linked to groups threatening national security. Using intelligence from surveillance drones and satellites, Indian forces executed precise strikes on 9 locations. The operation boosted India's strategic stance, sending a strong message against cross-border terrorism. Defense analysts note that modern equipment and coordination were key to its success. However, the operation's aftermath has raised concerns about retaliation and the need for sustained defense preparedness. The government is now reviewing arms procurement and border security to ensure that such operations remain swift and effective. China's stealth technology challenges India's Air Force. India's Air Force is facing growing challenges due to China's rapid advancements in stealth fighter aircraft and air defense systems. China's next-generation jets have surpassed existing capabilities, prompting India to accelerate its stealth aircraft development. Analysts warn that gaps in radar-evading technologies could weaken India's air superiority, especially along contested borders. India is exploring partnerships, indigenous R/&D, and reverse engineering to catch up. Investments are being made in drone warfare, electronic jamming systems, and upgraded air surveillance networks. The situation underscores the importance of technological parity and strategic planning. Experts believe that developing stealth capabilities and advanced radar networks is vital to countering aerial threats posed by rival powers. Chinese components in Indian drones raise security fears. Reports have emerged that some drones used by the Indian armed forces contain Chinese-made components, raising security concerns. With increasing use of unmanned aerial vehicles for surveillance and combat operations, reliance on foreign parts could expose vulnerabilities. Defense officials are reviewing procurement protocols and tightening regulations to prevent unauthorized imports. The government has urged manufacturers to prioritize domestic production and security audits. Analysts say that such loopholes could compromise sensitive data or open avenues for cyber attacks. Strengthening the supply chain and promoting indigenous drone manufacturing are now high priorities. The defense sector is also focusing on developing trusted electronics and securing networks against external interference. Rafale fighters to boost naval power. The Indian Navy is set to induct the advanced Rafale fighter jets aboard the aircraft carrier in Vikrant. These jets bring significant enhancements in air combat, surveillance, and strike capabilities. Designed for carrier-based operations, the Rafale is equipped with advanced radar systems and long-range missiles. Naval strategists believe this upgrade will strengthen India's presence in the Indo-Pacific, particularly amid increasing Chinese naval activity. The jets will enhance India's deterrence against hostile forces and improve maritime security. The Navy is also upgrading carrier infrastructure, pilot training, and operational coordination to make full use of the Rafale's capabilities. India's stealth fighter development gains momentum. In response to technological gaps with China and Pakistan, India is fast-tracking the development of its fifth-generation stealth fighter. The aircraft will incorporate radar-evading designs, next-gen sensors, and integrated avionics. Defense research organizations are collaborating with private sector players to build prototypes that meet stringent combat requirements. The stealth fighter is seen as critical for securing air dominance in future wars. With China's advancements and missile threats escalating, this project is a priority. Analysts suggest that while developing stealth technology is expensive and time-consuming, it will pay off by providing strategic autonomy. The project aligns with India's broader aim of reducing dependency on foreign arms supplies. Defense Ministry's billion-dollar modernization push. India's Defense Ministry has outlined a long-term modernization plan that involves multi-billion-dollar acquisitions and technological upgrades. The roadmap prioritizes indigenous research, next-generation communication systems, AI-driven logistics, and autonomous combat platforms. It also includes reforms to streamline procurement, encourage private sector participation, and fast-track testing procedures. The focus is on ensuring that the armed forces are ready to face asymmetric warfare and cyber threats. Experts believe that this effort will enhance national security while positioning India as a major defense exporter. The ministry's approach balances investment in cutting-edge technologies with strategic partnerships, aiming to create a self-reliant and future-ready military infrastructure.